From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, September 27th, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.35 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,333 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $607. Antiwar.com reports a week after Syria's ceasefire collapsed and with fighting picking up around Aleppo, Russian government spokesman Dmitry Peskov downplayed the chances of a new ceasefire effort anytime soon, warning the situation is extremely complicated and that Russia is concerned that terror groups used the last ceasefire to regroup for new attacks. The ceasefire, which lasted for a week, included a humanitarian pause of strikes against the Nusra Front-held area around Aleppo and was meant to also give time for U.S.-backed moderates to distance themselves from Nusra forces. Instead, Peskov says the separation of the two sides never happened and that Nusra used that fact to continue strikes on military positions while using the fact that the ceasefire halted airstrikes to regroup and to replenish their arsenals along the front lines. The ceasefire was also intended to, after the first week, lead to joint U.S.-Russia operations against Nusra, which similarly never happened, and instead U.S. officials are condemning Russia for unilaterally striking Nusra targets in the absence of U.S. cooperation. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein was escorted off the premises of Hofstra University on Monday afternoon, hours before the start of the first debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Stein, who was ineligible to participate in the event because she did not meet the Commission on Presidential Debate's 15% polling threshold, boarded a shuttle bus meant for news media as it was headed to the New York venue. A reporter for USA Today spotted Stein and her press secretary and reported her presence on Twitter. Apparently, Hofstra University security and Nassau County Police saw the tweet and removed Stein and the aide because they were not credentialed media nor invited members of the audience. Stein spokeswoman Milazia Figueroa said the candidate was headed to the venue to participate in media interviews, which she was doing when law enforcement and campus security located her and told her to leave. Figueroa said Stein complied with the police orders and left the area. She also told USA Today, "We were there under legitimate pretenses." Figueroa said the campaign planned to bus in supporters to stage a protest to grant her admission into Monday night's debate, though she acknowledged it was unlikely to work. Monday's trip to Hofstra was not the first for Stein, who in 2012, again as the Green Party nominee, was arrested after entering the debate venue, also at Hofstra, and handcuffed herself to a chair in protest. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports nearly 60 U.S. investors who together manage more than $2 trillion in assets called on North Carolina to repeal a law they said is making it harder for companies in the state to hire top talent by limiting protections for people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Under the law enacted in March, North Carolina is the only U.S. state to require that transgender people use bathrooms in publicly owned buildings that correspond with the sex listed on their birth certificate. The criticism by the money managers comes as the push for civil rights for transgender people has gained momentum in the United States. After North Carolina passed its controversial law, major sports organizations, entertainers, and companies pulled events or jobs from the state in protest. In their letter, the investors said the law was undermining the stable business climate needed for sound investment. The group, led by Trillium Asset Management and New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer, said they represent a wide swath of the investor community and $2.1 trillion in total assets under management. Matthew Patsky, Chief Executive Officer of Trillium, an investment management firm with an office in Durham, North Carolina, said state lawmakers should repeal the law before the economic damage becomes irreversible. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.